Welcome everybody to the 6th of September update. We'll wait another 30 seconds for everybody to come in, so please get settled. Welcome. 30 seconds. Welcome everybody to Veterans Council Veterans CEO update, weekly update, 6th of September. Got a secret for you. Even though this is being recorded, today is actually my wife's birthday. Happy birthday, honey. We're also on our anniversary cruise. And so while you see this on the 6th, we actually have sailed since September 4th, which is the greatness of bike technology. I wanted to make sure that I get into a rhythm. One thing I was always advised me to get into a nice particular rhythm. So I wanted you guys to know about. I wanted to have this on Monday for this event here. So, at any rate, I'm on a cruise ship as we're watching this, enjoying the sun while you guys out there or wherever you're at and watching our update. So let's go. Let's get to what we got to talk about right now. First thing I want to talk about is all of you guys. This is Veterans Council Veterans third annual Veterans and Family Suicide Prevention Summit. The thing that's important is a Fraggle. Everybody knows about the military about Fraggles. This is change. We went from being in person to virtual. We wanted to err on the side of caution. I surely don't want to have anybody to sit there and catch COVID-19 come to my event when I could prevent it. And so we decided to have it go all virtual for this particular summit. Now, third one. And the summit is called Veterans and Family Suicide Prevention Summit. And it's faith, veterans, families, mental health, and community. This is important because one thing we say about Veterans Council Veterans is that veteran suicide is a national problem with a local solution. That local solution is you. And it's not a one size fit all. It's not one thing. We're all involved. You can't monopolize. You cannot nationalize veteran suicide. It's just too personal. We specifically have these elements because you need all five to be effective. We have faith. Faith, first of all, is being a protective factor when it comes to deciding about suicide. But also, unfortunately, if a veteran does die by suicide, it's not only the faith community that has to sit there and take care of that event. Veterans. Oh my goodness. Veterans are very important when it comes to suicide prevention because we're peers. We understand, they trust us, we bring that trust with us. So I sometimes think that the peers are a lot more effective than a lot of these doctors and PhDs and counselors because they understand us and they trust us. Trust is a very important thing to have when you want to try to prevent someone from choosing suicide. Families, in this particular case here, we have a couple of families who have lost a veteran suicide, and they'll help us learn what they did to try to cope with that tragic loss. Mental health is a piece. It's not the whole piece, but it is a piece when it comes to suicide. And so we're going to have a panelist that's going to be from the community, all veterans, who are also going to give you some ways of dealing with suicide as far as society. Finally, organizations. The organization panel will have people on there that actually have suicide as one of their missions. And so you'll have organizations like Firewatch, Paint 22. They'll be part of this community and what they work and don't work. We're going to try to be more positive. So most of the conversation you'll see out of this will be positive of what worked, what did you work, what you saw that worked, and that kind of stuff. So we can start building from that instead of building from the negative. But that's not it. What else are we doing? Tell you what else we're doing. We're doing a Florida Women Veterans Town Hall, virtual Town Hall. This is virtual as well. When I first decided to do this, I definitely want to give women veterans a voice and a platform. And somebody said, well, hey, you're a male. Why are you doing this? When it comes to veterans issues, I don't care if it's women, minorities or whatever, we all have to work together as a village, not one agency, one particular force. And so this is important that men are just as involved with women issues as the women are. So that's one reason why, because I want to make sure it's inclusive. We got to be inclusive and exclusive at the same time. That's an interesting type. In a particular town hall, I've always believed that to a town hall be effective, it must come from the ground up, not the top down. So this purpose of this town hall is we want to sit there, and it says Florida. We really focus on Florida because, again, Florida is the second largest women veterans population in the country. we will make sure that they get their concerns and interests and needs addressed as well through the state, federal, local, and nonprofits. And so that's important that you sign up for the Zoom or register for the Zoom, but anybody can be at this particular town hall because there are organizations out there who have already broken the code in their area that can help us out as we try to move forward. At the end of this summit, we have three particular goals. Obviously, give women veterans a voice in our community. 2, create a coalition from this town hall, and 4, have a summit that now is addressing what we've learned from women veterans on this town hall. So that is, again, it's something that is grass up, not grass down. There'll be lots of organizations a part of this. We have Florida American Legion have the Women Veterans Department chair. We're going to have Northeast Women Veterans organization here. We're going to have the Orlando has their Veterans Council, which is led by a female veteran, D. They'll be on. We'll have the Bay Pines, both Bay Pines and James A. Haley will have their program directors on. And last but not least, as we continue going on, we're going to have the Florida Department of Veteran Affairs Women Veterans Program Director, Vanessa Thomas is on as well. So we'll have people there. But again, they're not there to sit there and talk about what they do. They're there to listen. So when you come, be prepared to talk, interact, do what you got to do that. One thing I also want to mention in conjunction with is that this just emphasizes how women are part of the military, not just supporting it, but they're also part of it. Unfortunately, we had 2 women military Marines who had died during this evacuation of Afghanistan. We'll talk a little bit more about that later on in the show, but we want to give our condolences to Marine Sergeant Nicole G. and Marine Corps Sergeant Johanna Rosario. They lost their lives, and that's one of the reasons why they have earned the right to have a voice and to be listened to. Again, some people think that this fighting and killing is just a male thing. It's everybody thing, and I want to make sure that the women get their due. One thing I want to do is, before we go any further, is that so we're going to try to do some modeling what we think we need to do as far as women veterans to make sure your voice is heard. First thing I would advise you to do is create a posse or a tribe, and it doesn't all have to be females. It can be male, female, or a mixture. I think it'd be more effective if it's mixed. Too many organizations out there that address things specifically, for race, and then the race you only have the African American show up. If you're Hispanic, only Hispanic shows up. Women veterans, the same thing. Just have women thing, the only women show up, and we really need all of us, all hands on deck, if you will. And I'm encouraging everyone out there to be more inclusive. The next thing you got to do is reach out to your local representative, locally, a federal, state, or county. Now, they may be really reluctant when you start reaching out to them because they're really not used to women veterans coming to the door and knocking on. But you got to be persistent. You got to knock on the door. And I want to sit there and show a little clip of that we had. We actually got a opportunity to have our councilman, Luis Vieira, meet our women veterans. And the women veterans include Sergeant Tiffany Davis, she retired combat veteran. Sergeant Nitsa Pereira, she's retired 23 Army combat veteran, Afghanistan veteran. And last but not least, Maxine Reyes, who is not only Air Force and then Army, she's enlisted and an officer, and she's also a spouse. So we have all 3 of these ladies come in. We are addressing Luis on what we are looking for when it comes to women veterans and their needs. So take a listen. Seeing us for women veterans. I want to first of all introduce the ladies that are here. All of them is surrounded by Israel, but she's also Muslim. So I'm just saying, not her, but she's Maxine's a Muslim. So I'm saying, so that's all right. It's Army veteran, combat veteran, EA, 23 years. And she's also an Afghan veteran as well. Tiffany Davis, Army veteran, retired, and combat too. So that's important. Maxine Reyes, not only she retired Army and Air Force, and she's got a sister. She's like all kind of body. Army, Air Force, enlisted officer. Military spouse. She's got a lot. So she's retired captain and also husband just retired. The role's coming yet, so she had a dual military experience.
Yeah.
And I thought I thought it was important that, as you're aware, that we're going to have this women veterans
Yeah.
town hall
Yeah.
on September 30th. You know, our whole purpose of it, we want to be able to give women veterans a voice, not just a voice, but is heard. And we
Yes.
appreciate when I reached out to you, he said, they told me, yes, I do want to visit the women veterans and find out what their concerns are. So I want to sit there and thank Councilman Luis Vieira for meeting with us and getting some. He probably something he didn't even know, because generally speaking, you don't see many women veterans that address veteran issues. So I'm sure you're doing a lot from that. So I want to thank um, Councilman Vieira for that. Finally, I want to talk about what's been going on lately. And you know, a lot of us out there, we've had so many mixed emotions: anger, helplessness, frustration. I mean, it's just incredible. And I don't want to get too much involved in the operational side, but it definitely affected me. I've been pissed. I'm still pissed off. But I know right now I won't be productive. But what I do want to do is that if people understand out there, we have lost 13 U.S. service members in Afghanistan during this act of evacuation. I want to take the time out to recognize these men and women who actually give their lives for this country, for Afghanistan, and have the trust in the leadership to know what's going on. And I think it's only appropriate that we recognize them as we go on. So, no further ado, let's 11 Marines and Corpsmen. So let's go. Let's talk here. So I mentioned earlier about Sergeant Johanny Rosario Pacharo. This is her right here. Veteran, the military that died really young. We got Sergeant Nicole G. Very young. Sergeant Darren Hoover. Corporal Hunter Lopez. Corporal Dagan Page. Corporal Roberto Sanchez. Corporal David Espinosa. Corporal Jared Schmidt. Corporal Riley McCollum. Corporal Dylan Marola. Corporal Kareem Nakua. Corporal Maxim Soviak. Excuse me. Sergeant Ryan Naus. I think I may have missed the corpsman up here. Maxim Soviak, Navy, the lone non-Marine that passed. Army, Army guy as well. So I really wanted to address that as we go, because again, we go through these really mixed emotions. Difficult time for all of us. Anybody who served, anybody who's still serving, is a very difficult time. Trying to ask a lot of questions, and we're going to talk more about that in Veterans Council Veterans coming up when it comes to Afghanistan. We're going to hear from them. I know we got too many people going out there, some people complaining, but we want to make sure when we do something for Veterans Council Veterans that it's going to be constructive, because we got to deal with the pain that's out there. There's a lot of pain, and it's so complex with Afghanistan loss. It's so complex. We got people who went in there to get the Al Qaeda, and then the Taliban was stopping it. So that was the key, getting the Taliban out of there. And then all of a sudden, look around and you see the Taliban is now in charge of the country. So that seems like almost like why did we do this? And we did this because we were following our leaders and we were protecting America from 9/11. So don't forget that. Don't forget that we did what we were supposed to do. If you want to lay blame, don't blame on the soldiers and the Marines and the airmen. It's going to be blamed somewhere else. We did what we did. There's goals to our mothers, and unfortunately new goals to our mothers and fathers. 13 of them because of this situation. We got people out there who created relationships and had other people out there, the Afghan nationals and some interpreters, and so they got that sense of loss on that and trying. So there's so much of mixed grief. It's complex grief, complicated grief, and it's going to take a lot. So we need your prayers out there of those who are trying to struggle for this. Veterans Council veterans will be out there for that, but it's not just going to be Veterans Council veterans. It's going to take all of us, not just one, to really handle this. It's going to be difficult for the months, if not years, to deal with something like this. And I want to make sure everybody knows that. So I want to make sure that we didn't forget that. So just wrapping it up real quick. Don't forget about our summit on the 18th of September, between the hours of 9 and 3. It will be virtual. No excuse not to be able to make it. And then after that, we're going to have our Florida Women Veterans Virtual Town Hall. It will be on Zoom, 10 o'clock to 12 Eastern Time. Register and share. I can tell you one thing about this particular event. It is really taking a lot of on itself. It's getting a lot of interest. We've only allotted 90 tickets. Slots is free, so 90 tickets, and we're already almost at the halfway point. So please don't hesitate, register, and let's start giving these women veterans and a voice. So that's it. We've gone through a lot. So for this week here, thank you for listening. For those listening, I'm about ready to go back and continue to celebrate my wife's birthday, and then I'm gonna go in the pool out there while you guys have the rest of the week. So this is Tony Williams from Veterans Council and Veterans. See you then.